Has it really been 3 weeks since my last video? It actually feels like 3 years. Like the last 3 weeks have been total hell, physical hell for me. I'm wondering how you have been feeling. Um, wow. Yeah, the last 3 weeks has felt like for me a death and rebirth. And so I just want to share briefly my ahas and offer words of encouragement if you're going through physical stuff as well. So, if you have watched a video or two of my latest videos, you know that in November and December, uh, it was an intensely emotional time, emotional purging, where all this emotions were coming up, not just for myself, but for everybody. I'm sure you felt it. Did you feel it? Share your story. um, yeah, those 2 months, like the deepest, darkest stuff was coming up, just one after another, and it was almost ridiculous. And it was almost ridiculous the amount of darkness that was coming up. I mean, stuff that you would have never thought possible. And maybe this is happening to you now. Um, at some point I thought I was just absolutely going crazy, and I thought um, this whole spiritual journey was bullshit. I really was about to give up. That it was so intense. So if you are feeling that now, don't give up. It's a good thing. But anyway, after all of that emotional stuff, I started feeling better, and I thought, yay, yay me, right? Yeah, don't ever get too ahead of yourself. And I had a bunch of crazy dreams, really all death dreams, and then some other crazy dreams, all symbolically very confirming that all the emotional healing and processing was taking effect. Those death dreams are death and rebirth, and that's exactly what I've just been through, or at least it's what I feel I've been through. Can't say for sure. So let's see, what do I want to tell you? Oh, and then during that time, this is all leading somewhere. I started feeling better, and all these dreams were coming up. And then during one night, which was kind of like the pinnacle or the apex of the point of all of that emotional purging and dealing with the thoughts behind the emotions and what fears were there, and seeing it and see, was it true? Is it me? All this sort of stuff. It was a beautiful moment one night. I was sleeping but awake. So after realization, many people report that you're still awake even when you're sleeping. So I was aware of what was going on, because awareness never sleeps, right? It's always aware, even when the body is sleeping. So I was sleeping, and then I had this, I woke up, not fully awake, but awake. And I said to myself, I am an infinite being, or something to that effect. And I went right back to sleep. But in that split second, I realized that my my consciousness, my awareness with the ego self, the story of Kat or Karen, the ego mind, that I had fully disentangled myself from identifying with that. And I now recognize myself as pure consciousness awareness. Okay, it's like it was a split. And I have to say, when I woke up from that, several days afterwards, and for about a week, it was bliss, absolutely bliss. And like I said, I got a little ahead of myself. And then all of a sudden, I was like, crash. And all of these physical issues, issues that I'm aware of and I thought were already healing themselves all came back with a vengeance. Crazy. And uh, for like a split second, when you're in so much pain, I know you know this, that it's very hard to not I think the ego really kind of did this in a way. Um, it's two things going on. Let me back up. So when you're going through such an emotional clearing, you have to expect at least minimal physical repercussions, right? I mean, we all know this, but we don't remember it when we're in the pain in that moment. So what I'm trying to say to you now is if you're feeling having physical issues and you're like, what is going on? Perhaps it is a result of your clearing from the last couple of months, right? Because your body is actually going through physiological changes everything at the atomic structure. Because what's happened is the body is no longer functioning under those false premises and instructions of the mental phrases that were causing the emotional reactions. Whether it be, I'm not good enough, and then you purge all the fear and the sadness and the anger related to that. And the body now has to go, oh, we no longer have to function with that program. So we have to restructure at an atomic level. And this, the body is holding on to its biological toxins of those phrases and those emotions, and all of it's got to come out. So don't beat yourself up. Don't worry. You haven't done anything wrong. The universe isn't against you. It's okay. It's a good thing. So yay. But be very careful. Here's my word of warning. For a split second, I almost got pulled into it, but I didn't. I did, but I didn't. I was aware of what was going on. So I didn't get pulled into it. But don't get pulled into your ego story of, why me? Why is this happening? I never do anything right. Whatever your programming is when you're in pain, emotional or physical, don't get locked and stuck into that thought stream. Okay, that's exactly what the ego wants you to do. And then all of that hard work that you've just done the month before will get reset. Okay, so we have to be very careful just to step back and become the witness. And I know how difficult it is when you are in pain. Okay, I recognize that, but don't play the victim, the ego victim. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you? I think that's it. I think I'll keep this video short, relatively short. Anyway, so to recap, don't be discouraged if you're having physical issues. They come up like out of the blue, worse than ever. If you've done emotional purging, your body has to catch up and you will feel better. Just don't get locked into the ego story of me, why me, and reprogram yourself with those thoughts, because that will happen. The moment you lock into the ego and you feel sorry for yourself, then those patterns come right back. Of course, if you catch yourself, always, always, always say no to the universe and ask your helpers to help you. This really, really works. Okay, till next time.